Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive.
Always ready to dive in.
Awesome. So today we're tackling a big one, the resurrection account in Matthew 28.
Yeah, it's a cornerstone of the Christian faith, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And it's not just about the event itself, but everything that comes after. The reactions, the rumors, the implications. It's a really rich passage.
Oh, for sure. Matthew goes beyond just telling us what happened. He gives us this really vivid picture of the immediate aftermath, which is super insightful.
Right. So let's set the scene. It's early in the morning. We've got Mary Magdalene and the other Mary. Gotta love that, heading to Jesus' tomb.
Yeah, and they're probably expecting to find, well, a tomb, right, to anoint the body and mourn.
Yeah, exactly. But what they get is, well, anything but tea ordinary.
Understatement of the century.
Right. Matthew describes this dramatic scene. First, an earthquake. Then this angel descends from heaven, rolls away the stone, and just sits on top of it, radiating light like lightning.
Talk about making an entrance.
I know. And the guards, they're so terrified they basically pass out. Talk about a power move.
Yeah, I mean, angels were considered messengers of God, beings of immense power. So to see one like this, it's understandable they'd be freaked out.
For sure. But then the angel speaks directly to the women, tells them not to be afraid. Jesus is risen, he says. Go tell the disciples. Can you imagine?
Wow, what a roller coaster of emotions that must have been. Fear, shock, then this incredible joy. It's like everything changed in that instant.
And then, just when you think it can't get any more intense, they run into Jesus himself on the way.
Talk about a double confirmation.
Right. And Jesus repeats the message the disciples are to meet him in Galilee. It's interesting how Galilee keeps popping up, isn't it?
It is. It's where Jesus started his ministry, so maybe it symbolizes a new beginning or a return to their roots.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, but now the story shifts gears a bit. We're not with the women or the disciples anymore. We're with the guards, and some of them go report to the chief priests about what happened at the tomb.
And that's where things get a little messy, right? We enter the world of politics and social power dynamics.
Exactly. I mean, the chief priests, they represent the religious establishment. And the resurrection, it throws everything into question. Their authority, their power, their whole system. It's a huge threat.
Totally. And how do they respond? With a classic cover-up, of course.
Bribery. They pay off the guards to spread a lie that the disciples stole the body while they were sleeping. And get this, Matthew says that this story, this lie, was still circulating when he was writing his gospel.
Crazy, right? It just goes to show how powerful misinformation can be, especially when it comes from people in authority, and how desperate they were to maintain control.
So then we're back to Galilee. The disciples gather there as Jesus instructed. And get this, some of them doubt. Even seeing Jesus with their own eyes, they still have doubts. I mean, it makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It does. It just shows that faith isn't always this easy, straightforward thing. It can be messy, full of questions and uncertainty. It kind of makes the disciples more relatable, don't you think?
Absolutely. It makes them seem more human. But then comes what's known as the Great Commission. Jesus tells them to go out and make disciples of all nations, baptize them, teach them everything he commanded.
Yeah, and it's not just about converting people. He's talking about fostering real commitment, guiding others to live by his teachings. This outward focus becomes a defining characteristic of the early Christian movement.
And then he leaves them with this incredibly powerful promise. I am with you always to the very end of the age. Chills.
It's a message of constant support, this divine presence that goes beyond time and space. It's at the core of the Christian faith, the belief in this ongoing relationship with God.
So we have this earth-shattering event, intense reactions, political maneuvering, and then this mission to spread the word. Matthew 28 is just, wow. It's so much more than just an account of the resurrection.
Right. It's a story that shaped history, beliefs, and entire cultures.
It makes us think, right, about the nature of faith, the power of belief, and even how doubt can sometimes be a part of that journey.
It's a story that still resonates today, centuries later. I mean, can we hold both faith and doubt? Can we find meaning and purpose even when faced with uncertainty? These are questions we're all still grappling with.
Such great food for thought. And on that note, we'll leave you to ponder. Thanks for joining our deep dive today.
Until next time.